What's up, Hallowmaniacs? Steph and Joe here. We are back for another round at the at-home store. Our second time in. Looks like they've restocked. We're going to see what other cool Halloween ads that we can find. Also going to provide a huge update on our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So let's get this thing started.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. This is our second stop at home store, and we loved the first time that we went. They had a ton of Halloween stuff, and now they're getting even more. And this was a really great kind of a light up tree stump here. Not bad price either. I think it was $29.99, but I loved it right here. It's got that yellow light, and I kind of held it on there just to show you what it looks like lit up. But yeah, overall I think a great product.
You know, it just makes you nervous too. I know at-home store has filed for bankruptcy. We don't know how much longer they're going to be around, but man, they have awesome Halloween selection. I was really impressed with this year's lineup.
Yeah, and this little kind of, it's almost like a ceramic resin ghost. Again, light up here, and I think on the bottom of it, you'll see it has a battery pack on there that will light up and kind of give that whole ambiance. And these things always look so cool in just like a dark room. And yeah, I love those. And I kind of noticed they had some kind of creepy little Halloween gardens. Like, look at that face there. That's kind of cool. And then here's a skull with a bunch of mushrooms and plants growing out of it.
Indoor, outdoor, they have it all for you, right? They're waiting for you.
They know it's 'tis the season for summer, but hey, if you want to have that little Halloween feel,
absolutely,
we'll put some of these
in here. This is the place to get it.
And these are funny. They're like two little, I thought at first they were separated mushrooms, but they're conjoined together. And they just look so goofy.
They kind of look like a real pair of fun guys, don't they?
Good one, Joe. I like this right here. This was almost like a blow mold type of product. $34.99. A skull that you can light up again with the different colors. Joe and I got one like for our Halloween decorations outside years ago, but it was more of like a ceramic or resin. Yeah. But I like this. It does have the light bulb in it. So, and I like the ones that are not the LED, the new kind of style of blow molds. Give me like the old ones here. I want like the old style with the plugs and just, yeah.
Traditionalists at heart. What can we say?
I know. They have some really cool, like unique ones. I know there's one at Cracker Barrel that got sold out, but yeah, hopefully we could do a video on that when the season comes.
Yes.
But here they had just a ton of like different kind of like, here's a little snake skeleton. They had different animal skeletons here. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. A nice variety, you know, all these things kind of go with Halloween, right? And look at the traditional skeleton. You can't beat that either.
I love the traditional skeletons. I do not love a skeleton, even if it's like a snake skeleton. Right. I'm not a fan of snakes, but you know, if it's Halloween related, maybe I'll warm up to it.
It works, that's right.
But these were not bad prices, $4.99. And that's pretty decent size. And they had a whole, like, ones that were a little bit bigger, I think. 36 inches for $14.99. And those are something that I swear has gone up in prices over the years. It's just decorating with skeletons, but there's so much you can do. And this was really cool. It's kind of like a symbolic hand here. I like that with the mystic eye. I like to call it mystic. It just reminds me of mystical. It's cool. A lot of different symbolism, a lot of detail in it. And $14.99 is not a bad price. It was pretty sturdy. You can see like kind of a little dinosaur skull there. So there's like a little bit of everything mixed on the shelves.
Absolutely. It was just nice to see it kind of, I won't say fully stocked, but, you know, way more stocked than the first time we kind of jetted in here.
It was.
Quite some time ago. So definitely a nice wide variety of selection. So if you do have an at-home store near you, I highly suggest you check it out and see if they've stocked it up for Halloween already. Because some of the stuff literally is flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
As I look at the bat skull.
I know. A nice pun intended there. But the bats were cool. You know, I've seen different kind of animals. They have cat ones, dog ones. And then you can see here, speaking of like cats and dogs and, you know, little pet skeletons here. They had this one that was like a bigger one right next to it. So I like all the skeletons. We did a skeleton theme last year for Halloween. So this would have been perfect. And this fire skull. So I did not know what this was. And I looked at it and apparently I think you can kind of put it into the fire.
That's
so
cool.
It must be flame resistant of some sort. It had, you know, I was looking at it, a pack of 2 skulls. So 100% ceramic. But it kind of would be a great thing if you want to have your fire lit. You could have skulls over there.
Perfect for your Halloween bonfire.
Instead of chestnuts roasting over an open fire, be skulls.
There you go.
$29.99. So again, not bad prices, and I think a unique product.
And they are reusable too, so that's a cool thing too.
Exactly. You're not going to stick it in the fire and it burning.
No one and done here.
That's right. You can have multiple uses. So that was pretty cool to see. And then moving on, here is just some different kind of, like, reminds me of the Ouija board.
Yep.
The doormat here, $12.99. So, again, I think a lot of this stuff, has already sold. It's going to sell.
Yep.
So, if you are into Halloween, you want to check out your store. I know they're not everywhere. They're kind of few, like, sparse in between some of the locations, but there is so much cool stuff. So if you have one in like a local region, definitely check it out.
And I think they're closing 20-something stores now too. So, now's the time to start hunting for this stuff.
That's right. This is going to be the season where I think we're going to see a lot of retail. I know we did a video on Michael's, so check that one out. They have released some Halloween as well. But aren't these ravens, crows? They are really cool.
They were cool. They're all different sizes too, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah, some of the larger ones were $29.99. They had a really big one right here for $49.99.
Jumbo sized.
Yes, and then they even had a medium one for $9.99 and then a little one for $6.99. So there was like crows of all different kinds to meet your needs for whatever ambiance that you're trying to do or pull for that Halloween season. But I liked it with the mouth open on it. Had a lot of good detail.
I think so too.
So Joe, speaking of Halloween themes, what has been your favorite theme that you can kind of decorate that maybe we have done or you would like to see?
Oh man, I really liked the skeleton theme last year that we did at our house. I thought that was super cool. I know this year we're going to kind of do kind of like a jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin patch type thing. I think that'll look really, really, really cool as well.
And the witches.
And the witches I think is pretty cool as well too. So, I think there's a lot of different options that are out there, but definitely excited for this year too.
And drop us a note and let us know what your favorite type of Halloween theme is to decorate. That bloody mat that we were just looking at kind of reminded me of the movie American Psycho.
And there's Binks right there on the top shelf.
Binks, yeah. Right next to the big crow. But these were really detailed figures, and the statues were cool looking. I like when they're realistic. We debated. We're like, oh, should we get one to freak Binks out? And yeah.
But she might not like that too much,
She might not like that. She might think that it's her replacement and say, what the heck? So, but we did like that. It was really good detail, and you can see the crows as well. I think right there was the $9.99 one compared to the
larger one.
Yeah. And then this sign right here, this was really neat. We may have seen this at the other store. I couldn't remember, but it's like a bunch of stacked pumpkins, and you can see the stand board on the back there. But for $19.99, that's pretty good quality. Good, nice, big, long piece of wood and everything as well with a lot of detail. And then I know definitely we did see those ghost signs there. Yeah,
we did.
Those are cool. I think that, again, was $19.99.
Haunted Mansion, welcome foolish mortals.
For Disney fans, this would be a great thing if you had a Disney Haunted Mansion theme. And then they had a really cool Salem Brewery. I like that sign. Yes. So
still super excited for our trip in the fall, so can't wait for that.
We're trying to just nail down the perfect time to go, and I think we're definitely leaning towards October, maybe early October, but still trying to work that out. But yeah, that is going to be a fun time.
More to come on that trip.
And then here, these are always great. They're only like, I think, $1 or $2, but they are those spiced pumpkin brooms, and those are just great if you want to ever have that perfect fall scent. Yeah, $1.99. You can stuff these anywhere. I mean, they're cute, they're decorative, but they smell wonderful.
And here's some really cool options for your yard decor, front yard, backyard, but some cool Halloween signs. These eyeballs, those are kind of cool as well. I like the trick-or-treat ones, and I love, love, love the Snoopy ones.
Yeah, this trick-or-treat was kind of like a bottle cap theme, so you could put that on the door. And it was pretty good quality. I mean, it was large in size here. And then they had, again, like Joe said, the Snoopy and Charlie Brown right underneath there. So these Charlie Brown ones are really cute and Snoopy with little Woodstock right there dressed as a mummy. Those are adorable.
Yeah, I like these a lot. Kind of that throwback to the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. So I thought it was pretty cool.
They were priced at $19.99, so a little bit more than like the other $14.99 ones. And I think a lot of times too, commercial products are usually a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more of a premium.
But if you're a Charlie Brown fan, those would be great to have.
There you go.
I like these right here. They're kind of those traditional Halloween colors. I think they would be great in a floral arrangement or just
Willy Wonka meets Halloween. That's what I think of.
Willy Wonka. Huh?
They look like gumballs.
They kind of do, I guess. Yeah, little Halloween gumballs.
Absolutely.
But they would have that great kind of color scheme for you. This was really cool. It was a spider web, and it was pretty decent size. It was made of kind of like a thread type thing, but $19.99. Not a bad price at all for it. It was pretty large.
All the prices were really reasonable.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job with the Halloween lineup and pricing.
Yeah, these right here, these little ghosts, if you go to Michael's, you're going to pay double.
Or
I've
easily,
seen it.
no doubt about
It's
it.
here. They were $7 and whatnot, and they were so cute. Like I had to just like squish them because they were just like little marshmallows.
Yeah, as I say, they look like marshmallows on strings.
Yes. So far things look like gumballs and marshmallows to us.
Ooh, there's those paintings that we like.
This is something I've been after. So the first time we went to the at-home store, there's like a series, and I wanted them in the gold frames like this, and they only had one, and I was kind of bummed about it because I kind of have an area that I wanted to put the 3 in. And I needed 3. I wanted 3.
Yes.
And here we found 2 more, and you'll want to stick to the end. Just a little hint, guys, because maybe one of these could be coming home with you. That's what I'll say for now.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so stay to the end. We'll have some details on that, but these were just adorable. I love that ghost on the swing right there. I think it was just kind of like that kind of storm on the horizon scene.
Yeah,
and
it's a cool Halloween image, I think.
it is. I think it's very creative. And then we kind of just saw some more fleeces. I think they're all priced around like $9.99, but just definitely they had a lot of different patterns and themes that, I saw there.
Yeah, nice wide variety here. Some spiders, as you can see. Some
Eyeballs.
other items, yeah. Spiders, eyeballs.
All kinds that you could have. So if you're
Black
in,
cats, you name it. Pumpkins,
right.
There's everything here.
and they had some really cool stacked pumpkins right here, resin figures that light up. So again, they have the battery on the bottom here, but I like that kind of with the white pumpkin on top and then the orange pumpkin on the bottom there. So again, a light up product on the back. It seems pretty sturdy too.
Yeah, all about setting that Halloween mood, right?
Absolutely. I think sometimes half the fun of Halloween is decorating for it. So
Absolutely. Create that ambiance, get creative, and change it up,
and then pack it all away in one of these storage bins for $18.99.
And then be super depressed and bummed that it's all over with.
Oh, or be like us and
Unless
leave
you're
some
a
of
true
it out.
Hallowmaniac and you just live it all out throughout the entire year.
Exactly. And these were really great. They were size, I think I had the size on there, but for $18.99 storage bags. They have some really great Halloween decorative lanterns right here so you can see the false candle
these
in
would
it.
look super cool too.
I like those. And then they had a little tiny black pumpkin or jack-o'-lanterns
That's a
right
cool
there.
guy right there. I like
This
him
was
a lot
neat.
too.
And I like those. Those kind of remind me of like the early 2000s.
Absolutely.
I remember when
Black
those
and orange traditional, you can't go wrong.
at $12.99. I can go into an antique market and sometimes they'll have like just the older, from the early 2000s to mid 2000s. They'll be like 20, 30
Yeah,
bucks.
they're that or more. You're right.
Exactly. And then here was some more different colors. So if you want the white and black, that would kind of look cool
Yeah,
together.
that'd be different.
But I like how they had it. Or you could maybe even paint your own color over the white.
That's true
Get
too.
creative. Here was a misty kind of cauldron right here. That would be great too for a witch's theme.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
was thinking of it. And more storage bins. So they got you covered at home. Buy all the stuff and then store it later.
I don't get big into these inflatables. I know some people really love these. I'm always a pro blow mold type guy, although I will not put my blow molds outside because you can't trust anybody, unfortunately. But the inflatables too, I've heard where people have had them slashed and cut too, so it's tough.
Yeah, I like the inflatables. There was a really cool Beetlejuice one I saw that they had.
The
a while ago.
Beetlejuice is cool.
Yeah, I mean they have some great ones, so I can't knock it. But these are great too. These 10-foot kind of skeletons right here.
Yeah, that guy's huge.
Yeah, I like it. And then it had to where I think you can change the different colors, so his rib cage and his eyes light up, so you could actually choose what color you want.
That's pretty cool.
And the price, I think I'll show it here if I hadn't already. It's $200 or close to $300.
$279. You're right. Spot on.
Yeah, but I know they were selling some like with those groundbreakers, and when they first came out, I mean they were like up to $500 for a large skeleton. So
Yep.
not bad at all.
These guys are kind of cool. Light up your pathway, for trick or treaters.
The audio on that was kind of crazy. It sounded like a little munchkin pumpkin.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I like that.
I like the graphics on it. But they had a lot of cool candles here that we saw last time. I don't think too many of these were new, but we are going to have a really exciting haul that we're going to show you that we took home and kind of give a little bit of details too.
As always, we have to add to the collection, right?
You know it. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead. Let's head home and I will show you what we ended up taking home as well as kind of share that important information. So let's get going. All right, Hallowmaniacs, we are home, and Joe, let's see. We'll scale up from like the bottom, the least expensive, to the most expensive.
I think overall we found some pretty good ads, no doubt about it.
I like this. This kind of goes with our theme of, like, I know I've said in a couple videos, we want to have a witch's theme for one of our rooms. And
what will it look like?
But these were so cute. It was like for $2.99, they're a set of 3 different little signs that you can kind of put in, and, you know, just little corner accents and nothing too fancy. But I was like, hey, I like it for the price. It's cute. It's witchy themed. And yeah, it was coming home. All right, so this next one is a $2.49. I lied. We're actually going a little bit down in price here. The other one was $2.99, but it's kind of roughly the same. These are fun. They're $2.49 each. They're like little floral accent pieces that you could have, and I thought they're adorable for, you know, something, especially if you want to have that vintage or that truly Halloween look. I know Michael's has a pink theme going on, and if you haven't seen our videos, we did cover a big thing of how Michael's is kind of doing a whole pink theme and disco, so they're kind of doing a untraditional Halloween theme, I think, this year. Not that they don't have traditional Halloween items, but you'll have to check that out. Check in our comments too, and our links below. We'll put the video in there with the pink. But
technically, you're going up in price because you bought 2 of them. $2.49 times 2.
You are so right. All right, Joe for the win.
Yes, and this reminds me of Halloween meets Willy Wonka. They look like gumballs. They look like gumballs on these little sticks.
Yes, I like that.
Yes, very abstract indeed. Well, we're not taxidermists, but we did find something cool. How about this skeleton of a bat? What's more fitting than a witch's cauldron in a witch's area than having some remnants of all things spooky, right?
And I was excited. You know, we are going up. This is $4.99. Technically, Joe, if we did the times 2, we're a little bit down.
Whatever.
Can we count tax? No,
yes.
I'm kidding. Forget that. Scram that. But no, I like this. This bat is cool. We don't have anything like that. And the one thing I really appreciate, and I'm kind of sad to say, you know, with the recent At Home declaring bankruptcy, you know, they really have great prices.
They do.
On a lot of their items.
You know, it took a while for, you know, some of these items to come out. You know, we did kind of an initial check weeks ago, and there was barely anything out, and it took quite a while to kind of really get fully stocked and get stuff in order. But I mean, these are great items and great prices. I mean, I would think these would move very, very quickly for those Halloween enthusiasts, and there's quite a bit of stuff picked over already as is, in my opinion.
All right, so I love me some skeletons, and this was a great find for $5.99. And what's better than 1, 2, of course. So I know Joe and I had mentioned that at the beginning of the video, we were going to do some giveaways, and we're not talking about just like one little thing. No, not just one winner.
If you're a Hallowmaniac, you're winning some cool stuff, man. There's no cheap prizes here.
No, and so that's why we want to have more winners so that more people win. And thank you if you have tuned to this point of the video, so we really appreciate it. But I will say, one of these guys is just one small prize of what we're going to be giving away, but I like these. Skeletons are great. It's like a staple of Halloween, so take me home. All you have to do is comment and subscribe. We'll have more details too as we get closer to the 1,000 subscriber mark, but yeah, so if you are already subscribed, you are already doing the right thing and on your way, and we have more giveaways too that we got from At Home Store that we'll show you coming up here in a minute.
I'd say that these guys being given away are just a skeleton of the total prizes that you're going to win.
If I could make his jaw laugh with you, I would.
Would have been a good effect.
That's right. All right, and coming in, we have a $9.99 find that we got, again, to go with our witches theme, Salem Brewery. And Joe and I, we actually have plans to go to Salem this year.
We will be going in October. We're going to drive it. We're going to stop along the way, have some fun adventures. So look forward to an awesome video featuring Salem in October. True spooky season.
Because get this, we're probably like 11 hours, I think, or so away. I think it was 11 hours when we looked at it from our home location. And at first we're having plans of, hey, we're going to go ahead and fly. And then I'm like, Joe, if we fly, we can't take as much home.
Yeah.
So he goes, okay, I guess we're driving.
We want to do a huge Halloween haul, obviously. And I think we're going to find a ton of super cool stuff when we are in Salem. So if you have recommendations of where we should shop, where we should stop, where we can find some spooky souvenirs, drop it in the comments.
Yes. And if there's anything too that you want us to check out while we're there, so leave us a comment. All right, and this next find is also a $9.99 find. It is a resin crow. So we saw that there was a small one. I think that one was $6.99 perhaps, and then you had the medium one, which was $9.99, and then there was a really large one that was
it's like $20 maybe or something.
That or even 30.
Yeah, 30 maybe. Yeah, he was pretty big. So
but yeah, he was really cool. But I was like, again, this would look great sitting on a bookshelf or something with that. Reminds me very Edgar Allan Poe-ish, and I know that's a raven, but they kind of look the same to me.
They do.
Yeah.
Same kind of vibe.
We get the gist.
Same vibe.
But no, excited to have this one, and yeah, perfect size. All right, and continuing with the spooky kind of mysterious witch theme is this little hand here for $14.99. Michael's has a green witch's hand that is really cool, but I adored this one because of look at all the symbolism. Yeah, it's very detailed and not bad for, again, at home is really rocking the prices. So love these. If you're looking for something kind of more modern Halloween that has good detail, hit up at home stores. Okay, so this was something that I really, really, really wanted. And we went to, we do have an at-home store that we did a couple weeks ago. And we found a ghost picture and it was perfect ambiance, but they only had one. And I knew at home had more than just one selection. So I was really hoping that we were able to potentially find the other ones. It took a while, but like Joe said earlier, at home is kind of staggering with the stocking of it. I don't know if it's just recent economic things going on or it's just harder to get the materials, but they finally had them. So this was one here and you'll see it's great. It's like a ghost kind of going in a garden landscaping here and $14.99.
Not a bad price. No. I mean, these look pretty cool, especially if you have multiples. Really goes together well as a set.
I mean, it's just, there's a lot of detail. Not bad for the price and I like the frame. So we had the one larger one. This one here, I was looking for 3 of them. And let's see, I have a surprise. So let me show you the next one. So big kudos to Joe, because when we went into the store, there was only, I think, like one or so.
There were 2 left.
2 left.
Each kind.
Yeah, so we got like one of the last ones right here. And isn't this one adorable? This one's my favorite.
In this case, I had to be mobile, agile, and act quickly.
It was a mad dash at home stores. Not really.
It really was.
Not really. But there actually were a lot of people coming in and looking at it. And by the, looks of it, there was only 2 left of each kind. So it goes to tell me that
they're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, they are. And we did not just think of the Hallowmaniacs, like us, me and Joe. We thought of you, the Hallowmaniacs. So, Joe, go ahead and tell them.
So we're actually going to give away one of these really cool paintings, decor items with the ghost on the swing. We were able to snag 2 of these. And like we mentioned, we're going to have multiple prize winners, multiple prizes awarded. And this will be up for grabs. So when the time comes, we will have a separate video about our contest. You will have to go to that video, watch it, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, and then post a comment. We'll ask a question. As long as you post a response to that comment, or to that question, rather, you will be entered into the drawing. So very simple. Stay tuned to the channel, because once that announcement comes, we'll only give so much time to go ahead and comment and enter the raffle. But again, just a super cool way to just win something free. That's Halloweenish. Our way of saying thank you to you guys for tuning in and putting up with us. As you guys can probably see when this video gets released, we're going to be over 700 subscribers on our way to 1,000. We thought that this would probably take forever to do, but thanks to the loyalty and enjoyment you guys have had with the video so far, we're approaching 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome and really exciting. And we just keep hoping to grow the channel and providing you awesome Halloween content year round.
All right, guys, so I think that's going to do it for the video. Again, thank you so much, but I do want to throw in one more thing. There's always things with the Hallowmaniacs. We put a post on the channel a while ago, and we're asking for the 1,000 subscriber, kind of wondering if you're more interested in modern Halloween for a giveaway, vintage Halloween, modern, vintage, modern inspired. That's a tongue twister right there. And we kind of got a little bit of answers for everything. So this is just kind of more some modern Halloween finds. There will be more, but we are going to do vintage Halloween and we are going to do modern vintage inspired Halloween. So there will be everything. So stay tuned. More on that coming up as well. So thanks again for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, friends, to stay spooky.
Trick or treat.